Hey snowmobilers, I just passed a gorgeous Ford Mustang in Ironton, Minnesota on my way to St. Cloud to see the 2026 Polaris switchback snowmobiles. Let's go check it out. All right, today we're talking about the Polaris crossover snowmobiles. I'll discuss trail and utility snowmobiles in other videos. Most people have heard the name switchback without realizing how many crossover snowmobiles Polaris has made with that name. It's a name that has been around a long time. It has always meant crossover. It's always been the name for Polaris's crossover snowmobiles. Like trail snowmobiles, Polaris makes an entry-level machine called Sport. In this case, it's called the Switchback Sport. It has almost the same track length and overall dimensions as the rest of the Switchback lineup, but is powered by the 550 fan-cooled engine. You can't order a Switchback Sport for 2026, but you can find these in current dealer inventory. In the 2026 lineup, the next model is the Switchback SP. This comes with a single engine option, color, and track choice, and includes the Polaris patented smart handlebar warmers. The biggest difference is the shocks, and the Switchback SP offers Polaris aluminum non-adjustable shocks. These are very good shocks for the price, and the 650 Patriot engine is an outstanding power plant. If you want Fox QS3 adjustable shocks, then the Switchback XC is your choice. The shock compression can be set to soft, medium, and firm with an easy to use dial on the shock body. We have QS3s on our Polaris General, and they're very useful when you need to adjust for changing trail conditions without making permanent changes to the springs or suspension geometry. At the top of the hill is a Switchback Assault, and this is really the one that has gained the most reputation. People know the name Switchback Assault. They usually assume that the two words are synonymous, but they're not. Remember, there's a Switchback SP and XC. The Switchback Assault is the most expensive switchback. That's usually the one everybody wants, and it's a shame that people don't know about the SP and XC models because those are a really good value. Most people, I think, would probably prefer those just because of the price. But the Switchback Assault is probably where you get the biggest announcement from Polaris for 2026. Polaris has spent a lot of time developing a new Switchback Assault. And the addition of a second Switchback Assault. There are now two of them. The Switchback Assault is usually considered the best true crossover snowmobile on the market, equally good on and off trail, but it has had a bias towards very good trail manners with such a long track. I know I've seen these on trails, and it's amazing what they can do for what they are. It's a very good trail machine. That's because it has a full width Indy front suspension. What they're calling now, this year they're calling it the race suspension. The Switchback Assault Race is a full width Indy front suspension coupled with a 146-inch track. So you're basically getting an Indy, a trail snowmobile with a longer track. There's a trick that Polaris uses that other manufacturers don't, and that is the tipped rails of the rear suspension. What they mean by that is they raise the last part of the rails of the rear suspension are raised a few inches off the snow on groomed trails. This makes the sled feel shorter and eliminates a lot of the understeer you normally get with such a long track. But it gives you the flotation and control of a longer track rear suspension. Where things get interesting, though, is there's a second Switchback Assault. This one they call the Escape. The Switchback Assault Escape gets the Polaris Mountain ski spindles and a ski stance that's much narrower than a normal Assault, up to 3.5 inches narrower. It's adjustable. It's not quite as narrow as the Mountain sleds, but narrow enough that you get much better off-trail capabilities. You get the same Walker Evans shocks, but you get mountain skis. So the Assault Escape is really intended to be biased toward off-trail riding and is built a lot like a shorter tracked mountain sled. Matter of fact, that's the way I look at it. Being the top of the line, both Switchback Assaults get the 7S display as standard equipment. During the spring order period, you can choose between several engine and track options, as well as color and factory or dealer installed accessories. Some engine choices are only available for pre-order, so keep that in mind. You'll want to talk to your dealer before the order period ends, or else you'll end up you're going to end up searching for what you want next fall if you don't order something. While the Assaults normally get all the attention, don't forget that the Switchback SP and XC models are an extremely good value and would make a new sled purchase more affordable. On the other hand, the Polaris website makes it easy to search all local dealers for inventory on hand, and these sleds are heavily discounted. That includes the Switchback Sport. This is a really good year to be thinking about a new Polaris snowmobile, both for carryovers and ordering a new one. For those entering the world of snowmobiling, welcome. You have picked an incredible time to join us. Hey, I'm headed home to Chippewa National Forest. I hope that information was helpful for you. I'm glad I got the chance to see those sleds in person. One of the sleds that I was kind of thinking I'd see at some point, but I didn't, was a Switchback Assault with the race suspension and dynamics. Doesn't that seem like a winner? It does to me. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope I see you on the trail.